Hey, this is Eddie from my public life as an American nerd, and with me I have Jay Gruesome. He's an artist, a local artist here in Southern California. How you doing, Jay?
Good man, good. How you doing?
Pretty good, pretty good. Um, the reason I brought you on is we're doing Scare Fair in October 30th, and you're one of the vendors that are going to be there, one of the premier artists. And I wanted to showcase some of your stuff. This podcast goes both uh, on video through YouTube, and it's on Spotify, SoundCloud, iTunes as well. So we're going to talk a little bit, and we're going to show a little bit of your art as well.
Cool. Sounds good, man. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the scare fair.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun. There's a lot of artists involved, a lot of comic book artists. I think we have 10 comic book artists and writers, authors, publishers, as well as some actors and a few famous people as well. So it's going to be a
Yeah.
fun event. Yeah. Well, who are you looking forward to meeting? As far as, is there anybody there that you really want to meet?
I'm kind of bad with names at times, but the guy who played Dr. Satan from House Thousand
Dr.
Corpses, because
Satan,
that's one of
yeah.
my favorite movies.
Yeah, they know him as Dr. Satan, which is crazy. He's Walter Phelan. Yeah.
Mm,
He actually is one of those iconic figures that doesn't get much camera time, but the
yeah,
name and the fact that they talk about him throughout the entire movie, um, he's one of those roles that sticks in your mind when they finally show him at the end of the movie and there's Dr. Satan.
yeah,
Yeah. I get a lot of people wanting to see him as well.
yeah. No,
That's
it's gonna be
cool.
cool. I mean, there's a lot of other people too, but I mean, it's just I always tend to just get like overwhelmed at like events too, where I'm like, all right, there's so much to do, and I got to focus on my booth. That I'll
Yeah,
like at the end of the event, I'll probably realize I like forgot to say hello to anybody.
yeah. There's a lot of people asking because there's going to be music there as well, and there's going to be the haunted carnival, which is psychotic. And the music, we have a band playing. It's a road work, but the main band, the highlight is going to be American Zombie, which is a
Mm,
Rob Zombie tribute show, and it's a spook show, and they look, act, sound exactly like Rob Zombie. The videos up like Rob Zombie, so a lot of people are like, if I'm going to be vending, I can't see that. So
right.
so I did tell them that break down, if you want, if you're not selling anything, or if you're not working with customers anymore and you want to go see the live performance of the Rob Zombie band, or want to go take a look at the carnival psychotic, that you could do that as well. And I'm
Cool.
pretty sure people are going to be mingling or trying to get some autographs as well during that time.
Yeah.
Scare Fair is at the San Bernardino Fairgrounds in Victorville on October 30th, 2021. It starts at 9 a.m. and ends at 9 p.m. Um, so you're a big fan of horror movies, I take it?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I basically that's all like I'm usually just painting and got a horror movie or something in the background, and that's kind of my days. I just watch and I watch a ton from like the worst of all of them to the better ones. But
No, you mentioned Dr. Shane. Is that your favorite movie? House of Thousand Corpses, or
I mean, I think my all-time favorite horror movie is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like that was always my staple for some reason. It just was the one I gravitated towards, and then I think too because when I was in high school, they did like the remake that I felt that one was pretty good too, but they can never do sequels well. So
what's his name was in it? Matthew McConaughey. Was it?
well,
Is
that
that
was
that was a remake, or is that what the?
no, I was thinking the remake with Jessica Biel,
Oh,
and
okay,
then
yeah,
yeah, I think that was like 2004, three, somewhere around there, maybe I
somewhere around
forget.
there. Yeah.
It all starts to blend together.
Well, that movie has been redone and not really changed, but they kind of added some things and recreated the character. actually
Yeah.
the character of Leatherface, because he wasn't the only character on the original one, but they kind of like gravitated towards him and made sequels based on him. Texas Chainsaw
Yeah.
Massacre. Yeah.
Yeah, it started, I think, because it was mainly kind of focusing on the family as the whole,
Right.
and then it kind of branched off to just him. And then I don't know, like I said, they just haven't really done like sequels or prequels that well. Like there was that one, I think it was like Leatherface that came out not that long
Yeah.
ago, and I watched his. I always watch them, but I just wish it was always a little bit more something.
Yeah. That was one of the first movies that kind of went towards the gore factor of a movie, where they kind of focus on the gore opposed to the identity of each character. I think they went, and the last one, the Leatherface one, they overdid the gore and didn't do too much of the character building.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I have a lot of favorites as well. Um, Now, watching the horror movies, did you pick out specific scenes or specific people that you wanted to draw, or you just drew like the most famous person that was in that movie?
No, I mean, for me, I feel like I don't really think about it in that term. Sometimes I just whatever character will pop in my head. It's more of it's an art thing where if I don't start it was as soon as I think of it, if I don't start it, it just won't really get done. So if
Yeah.
I'll like think of a character, I'll start seeing it in my head and I'll go, getting into the sketchbook, and then I'll just try to like work myself through the whole thing to getting like that's why I'm working on the trick or treat
To
painting
treat,
back
yeah,
here. And that's how it was. I just kind of like thought about it the other day, saw it in my head, so I just started going at it.
yeah.
So it doesn't really, they just kind of come to me randomly as far as who or what I'm gonna kind of go at. And then sometimes I'll write stuff down too, or like I'll make a list of characters that I want to do there. Because at the horror shows, especially too, people will ask me for characters that I won't have, so I'll write those down, make sure I get to that. So I don't really think of it while I'm watching a movie. It's just more so comes to me randomly.
Do you do a lot of commissions?
Yeah, yeah, I mean, I usually do a decent amount. Just like usually smaller size stuff, but it's always nice to get commissions because then I know what to do.
What captured me about your work here, I'm going to go to your website real quick.
Sure.
I'm gonna share this. Now, this is your website here. Now, what really interests me with your work is the way that you package it.
Hmm.
You package your work really good. I don't think your website shows
Yeah, I know
your
on my
packaging on your Instagram.
the Instagram will probably have it. Yeah, but
Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
because that kind of just started happening this year. Really, I had a friend who goes by Bruce 13,
Mhm.
and we were just talking one day, and he was bringing up logos, and I realized I really needed to work on one. So I just kind of started kind of working on the idea of the skull, and then the rabbit ears kind of formed, and then it
Right.
became like that. So then I was able to start working more with like packaging and things. So all that stuff kind of just came about this year.
So this is your main logo, the rabbit with the
Yeah.
skull rabbit. That's cool. And the packaging is your name is in black. It says J Gruesome or Gruesome, and it's in cellophane. And you package each of your product that way, and you take a picture of each person that buys your product. I thought that was great marketing, and so it makes people want to get it to take the picture with the packaging as well. But it's I thought that was great marketing.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like I had other friends that were doing it at shows and stuff. So as I got back out there, I just kind of started doing it, and now it's one of those things where I feel like I have to keep doing it. So like, and like, it's nice too because I'll get a lot of people that they'll see their photo on the Instagram once they start following me, and then I can be able to reach back out and thank people and stuff from the shows who made purchases and everything.
So these are your canvas art. You have several different ways you package and sell your art. You either sell it by 8x10 canvases, which are the smaller prints, and you sell the large canvases as well. Okay, those are called the 8x10s or the canvas panels, or
They're like the mixed media kind of
okay,
canvases. Yeah.
okay, yeah,
Yeah, and those are more of like my bigger original paintings.
and as you can see, he does different types of styles, not just horror, but I see you have Deadpool there
Yeah.
and Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. That one's cool, actually.
They I just saw that one recently out at Patches and Pins down in Santa Ana.
Okay, so you did Patches and Pins, uh, the Orange County one. I know they had one in Los Angeles, and the next weekend they had one in Orange County as well.
Yeah, they've been really like doing a lot. I like keep wanting to make it back, but I always got other events too that I've already signed up for.
No, I've seen at 2 events within the last 2 weeks.
Mm.
You get pretty busy. When do you have time to do the art?
I mean, I feel like I'm working basically like all 7 days a week because during the week is when I'm getting paintings done, getting my supplies, getting stuff packaged and everything. And in the weekends I'll do shows. Like I'm gonna take a break for this weekend and just get myself prepared for the rest of the month that I for stuff I have going on. But yeah, I mean, I just kind of try to focus. I mean, this is my full time,
Mhm.
so I don't have to really. I know there's other artists who, are splitting time, so it does take a lot to kind of get there because I was doing that in the past, trying to slowly work out canvases and stuff here and there in between my job and everything. But now that I can do it full time, it's just something where when you treat it like a job, you make your dedicated practices. So like in the morning, that's when I try to get the idea out or the sketch out, or I'll figure out what I need to do for my day and all. So I mean, it just really like having the time and being able to organize it in a way where I can actually complete everything now.
Now, is everything you sell hand printed, or you also sell prints? Or
I'm
actually hand painted?
So I've been trying to figure that out a little bit more because as I got back into it this year, I was just sort of bringing, everything I've been working on. I do think I'm gonna kind of go forward with more like doing one original, like bigger canvas piece, like one of this sizes back
Mhm.
here, and then just sort of doing like poster prints and stuff from that size. And like I'll still have other little prints and things that I'll work on, but I really like doing the bigger canvases more. And I feel like at this point it would be cooler to have like a big binder on my table just full of like almost like if you were at a poster shop, and people could kind of browse through different things and be able to take home a bigger piece than the little 5x7s that I have right now. So
Yeah. Last when you were at Spooky Nights, that event there, my daughter comes up to me, grabs me, come here, dad, I want one of these. And you have skateboards, the board
mm.
actually, and you do what inspired you to start doing boards, or how long have you been doing boards?
I mean, I was definitely never like a full skater. I was more of just like a cruiser and stuff kind of growing up. But I've always loved, art. So I mean, skate decks always had really cool artwork on them and everything. So I was always drawn to that. And I had been to a couple gallery shows and stuff too, where like the ram skull and the owl, those I did for a show back down in Santa Ana at a place called Low Key Gallery, and it was just like all themed. So it was just kind of something that I've always sort of done a little bit of, but lately I've been trying to do more of because I found some like cheap used skate decks that I've been able to sand down and repaint. So it's something it was just something that I always liked doing, but I just never did a bunch of them like I'm starting to.
Yeah, they are cool.
Thank
I
you.
got to tell you that if she was gonna get one of these, I'd rather hang it on her wall than destroy it on the street. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, because they are really cool. Now you say
Thank
that
you.
you didn't skate much when you were a kid. You didn't did you go to any skate parks or anything, or just skate around the house?
Not really. I mean, I'm actually originally from Philadelphia,
Okay.
and even though like the city part was real big on skating, I was like sort of right outside of the city, and I don't know, my area wasn't. I wasn't always around like that kind of crowd and everything, so It was something for me that like I said, I would do it. I would cruise around, but I never got into like skate parks and doing big tricks and everything. So it was one of those things where I loved watching it. You know, I went to the X Games a couple of times, especially the ones they were in Philadelphia down at like City Hall and stuff. Me and my dad went down there. I mean, I was always into it, like I said, but I just never fully got into the scene like that.
I just watched a video with Tony Hawk, and it was done like the beginning of this year, and he went through a loop, a 360 loop, and he's like the only one that would actually complete it through, and he just jumped on it and just did it, and I'm like, dude, how old are you? Because I'd be afraid of breaking a bone or something.
I know, right?
It's
I know he's
crazy.
getting up there, man.
Yeah, but going to the X Games is pretty cool. I've been to one myself. Watching them come off on those large ramps, what are they, about 3 stories tall?
Yeah, I
Some
don't know.
some of
They're
the ramps,
huge.
yeah, they're about 3 stories tall, and coming off on those on a skateboard is just crazy.
Right? A
Did you
lot of
ride
faith you're putting into that.
it? I know, like four little wheels
Right?
and a deck, hoping that deck don't crack when you land. Did you or you into BMX or biking or?
No, I mean, I was more as just like I said, if I was doing anything transportation like that, it was skating, but I just wasn't into like the full scene of doing tricks and all that crazy stuff. I would love to be able to do some tricks, but I just have to get back into it, I guess.
No, you were raised in Philadelphia, and you came over to California when you were young, or when did you come over to California?
It's been a little over 5 years now, since I've been out here. So not that long ago.
It's a big difference between Philadelphia and California.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I like it. I know there's some people that come and go back, but I don't know. I like it out here.
yeah. Um, and you're living in LA County.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And the events that you're doing, you do Orange County and LA County events.
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm kind of going, trying to get back into going all over. Eventually, a cool goal would be able to travel to different shows, even across different states. So I'm always willing to go to whatever show I need to, but right now it's been kind of like from here down towards Santa Ana and over towards in Inland Empire area and stuff like that too.
I know some of these artists, and including yourself, has been doing non-stop shows since the beginning of the year, since they lifted the COVID ban as far as events opening up. Has that been it for you? Constantly working every weekend?
Yeah, trying to just trying to get a routine, trying out different shows and testing out other markets and areas and just seeing where else I could have good traction and all. But yeah, I mean that's all it's been right now is just me trying to like stay booked, stay constant. I've been doing, like I said, commissions and some online sales, but being able to make those connections in person is super helpful because if we do have to go back into a lockdown, at least there'll be some followers who
Oh
could
yeah.
be, open to seeing my work still and stuff. So I mean, it's good to try to stay busy right now, but I mean, stay safe is always number one. So don't force yourself out of your comfort zone.
I think that's forced a lot of people to rethink their own home businesses as far as being out in the public and then having to be in lockdown to prepare themselves to be in lockdown to get as much exposure as possible and kind of do things online after the fact. I'm hopefully for the sake of Scarefare that we do not have another lockdown,
Exactly.
that people continue to wear their mask where they're at high risk or there's areas where there's a big crowd of people. So
Man.
just wear your mask. Hopefully, I don't know, people are getting vaccinated, but if you can get vaccinated, especially if you're going to be attending these events.
Hmm.
Um, what age did you start um, with your artwork, knowing that you were good enough to sell?
Well, it was kind of like I was in out of high school. I went into retail and I worked for that for a while. And at the time, I wasn't drawing or anything. Like I was just more so always around different art, so I was just always into it. And it was always something though that like as a kid and all I would want to do and would try to draw. But I think it was probably really right before I moved out here. So I guess about 6, 7 years ago. I was just kind of in the middle of a job that I hated, and I just decided that like I needed to do something else. And it just came down to me choosing art as my next step, and I just focused on it. And I spent I spent a lot of my shifts just drawing instead of doing real work there anymore. And it just became something I started doing constantly. And then even up till really like even up to like 2018, I really wasn't in a place that I felt good in. So I it was always a little rocky and stuff, but it was really weird. It was kind of like as we started going into quarantine is when I started getting more into my own art style, and I had people reaching out for commissions. And then within this year, like coming up with a logo and a design. So it's kind of really crazy to think about how I've been doing it for a few years now, but the last 2 years have been like the successful end, me kind of feeling connected with my style more, people also connecting with it and everything. And so it's kind of something where I hear it all the time. People say like, oh, I wish I could draw and stuff. And in my head, I'm always
Yeah.
thinking like, yeah, I said the same thing like 6, 7 years ago, but I chose to do it. And the more obviously the more you practice at
Yeah.
anything, the better you're going to get. So yeah, it was just the decision in the middle of a job I hated to really be like, all right, I gotta find what's
Your
gonna
passion.
drive me, yeah, the rest
Yeah.
of my life here.
Yeah. What's funny is that it hit at a predominant time when COVID happened, a pandemic, that your art started taking off, which would have been for the opposite for many, which been their work had slowed down drastically because they were losing a lot of the customers. Where you picked up customers during that time. Very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like I had worked at Michael's and stuff too. So
Mm,
I had like a coworker who commissioned some pieces, and then I had another guy who was like a musician and sort of had his own clothing brand, and I did like a commission for him. And then it was just like the snowball effect where I was also kind of like finding my own style within that. So I was doing these little 5x7s, and then those were easier to kind of sell at shows and stuff. So yeah, it just kind of was like a snowball effect.
I'm kind of pissed off at Michael's right now because they put out their Halloween stuff this week,
Mhm.
and I went to the Michael's down the street, and they had their villages up on display. They were putting them together, but they did not put any of the product in at that time. And I asked, well, do you have this? They have it's like a jukebox, and it's their record store, a zombie
Mm.
record store, and then they have the big Ferris wheel behind that. I said, can I get these down? They said, no, they're not displayed. You gotta wait till they get displayed and then come back and buy them. And the next day I went back and they're sold out. I mean, literally, it was almost 12 hours later. So
My
they
God.
did, somebody else did sell them, but
Yeah.
they probably didn't even hit the display. They probably just sold right off the display, but did not hit the
Well, yeah,
shelves.
and the other thing is from like a behind the scenes kind of idea. We do a lot of the online orders, pick up in store, or even just shipping out to other people. So they
That
may
could
not have
happen.
even made it
Yeah.
to a sales floor. Someone
Right.
earlier, even in the day, could have just a
Yeah.
bunch of orders went through. Someone ordered a bunch, and that's the part that gets annoying, and it is like you're better off. You are sometimes better off doing the online
It
order
was,
pickup in
I
store.
was just looking at their whole display, and most of it was already empty before it even hit the racks. I was like, what the hell? And then so they have this display up, and actually people bought off the display too. We're buying off the display. So yeah, Halloween is coming quicker and quicker during the year. Uh, or
Yeah, I feel like this is the first year, honestly, where I can say once July hit, it all of a sudden became like Halloween. And it's really weird because I feel like it never happens like that. I feel like Halloween is always almost like overpowered by Christmas
well,
automatically.
it was also with, I wanted to get the 12-foot skeleton for Scarefair,
Mm,
and online orders were already sold out. So I went to our store, and they were buying them by twos and fours. and I think they should limit them on their buying, because I know they're reselling them on eBay or whatever. But
Of course.
yeah, those 12-foot skeletons, it's so quick. Like in a day, they're all gone.
Mhm.
Even online, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you do not get your Halloween stuff in July, I guess you're out. Or I don't know if they restock all that stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, usually you get up till like September, and then it phases out completely.
We went to Hobby Lobby 2 days ago.
Mm.
They have Christmas stuff out.
Yeah, I mean they're more of a religious based company as it
All
is. So
right.
I mean they're gonna kind of probably move past Halloween quickly.
Well, what they do, they don't put out their Halloween stuff, I think, till the end of August, and but they do put
Mm,
out their Christmas and their fall stuff out before the Halloween stuff. So
yeah.
yeah, it happens that way. Do you have a lot of Halloween memories?
Um, Nothing like super crazy, just like typical kid ones. Just like going from I think I was like the Green Ranger once. I think I was a brown paper bag one year for some reason as a kid. I know, like my mom has
I was a
photos of
white
it.
sheet, but
There
my
you
mom
go.
my mom put the holes in, and she still has the picture. He was on the white sheet. That's it. Yeah,
Because
yeah.
like I get like I'm a very like dry humor sensitive person, so I think it was like she told me, she asked me what I wanted to be, and I just in a very serious face just told her a paper bag, so she just made me that costume, and
Do
I
you
went
make a
as
big paper, a giant paper bag?
I was young, like I was like really young, so I think
Uh,
I was even probably like at an age where just like an
you fit.
oversized one from the supermarket probably worked.
Yeah,
So if I can ever find a photo of it, I'll definitely post it on Instagram. So,
that's hilarious. Yeah, you have
but
to.
yeah, and then I
Um,
mean, like, then one year recently, one of my better costumes, I felt like I had long hair and I went as Big Lebowski, and it worked really well.
oh, that's a good idea for me.
Yeah, for
I've
sure.
got a little bit of the belly, and I'm growing my hair out. So yeah, no, you just need the robe. Just walk around. Um, I remember Halloween past, where it was dangerous to go out Halloween trick or treating. In the early 80s, when they had a scare, people putting razor blades and needles and pins inside um, candy. And that was like, we'd bring home our candy and empty out our bags, and they'd go through everything, cutting open some of the Snicker bars or throwing away the candy apples and the small candy corns, and
Hmm.
looking for this stuff. Now, I personally never experienced any of that, finding it, but I think it's more of an ongoing hoax that keeps coming up every year.
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry. Hold on a
no
second.
problem.
I don't know what just happened. I gotta see if I can switch back on.
I can hear you,
Yeah,
but
okay. No, I had gotten there was an emergency alert that popped up on my phone,
oh,
and
okay.
it took my earphones away to that. I don't know, it was weird.
Yeah, it kind of like zapped in my earphones. I was like, what is that?
Yeah, it was yeah. Sorry about that.
No problem. No problem. But yeah, with the scares, I think every Halloween is like threatened by something. I mean, we didn't have Halloween last year because of the pandemic, and I
Pandemic,
think
yeah.
that holiday was probably the most threatened throughout the whole entire year, where people were like, what am I going to do on Halloween? And not what are we going to do on Christmas, what are we going to do on Thanksgiving, on 4th of July, but what are we going to do on Halloween? What are the kids going to do on Halloween?
Yeah,
And I felt like that threat happened earlier on, where people are like, wear your mask, save Halloween.
right.
You know, and I've seen that so many times. It wasn't save your mask, or wear your mask and save Christmas, or
It was Save
or save,
Halloween.
yeah, save Halloween. And it got me thinking that that is my favorite holiday, but it got me thinking how many people love that holiday. And
Hmm.
I don't know if it's because it's a time where they can be something that they're usually not, or it kind of brings out that kid in them, or it's a time to enjoy the kids trick-or-treating. I don't know, it's one of those holidays that that people enjoy, and they enjoy from their youth to their adulthood.
Yeah, and there's usually just that like awkward age group where you're not sure if you're supposed to do anything for
Trick or treat.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, am I too old to go trick or treating now?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm like not old enough to dress up. You know what I mean? There's that
Yeah.
awkward age gap.
We have an 18-year-old is going through that right now, and the last couple of years, like, I'm not gonna dress up. Well, I wear a little bit of makeup and I'll wear my regular clothes. I could be a teenage zombie, and it's like, either go all out or not go out
Just
at
not,
all.
yeah.
But yeah, just, I mean, I'm in my 50s, I still dress up, but I believe, I don't remember, but I don't know if I went through that time, or that where I was feeling like I shouldn't dress up, or I should dress up, or I'm too old to dress up. Nope, I can
Yeah.
dress up. Yeah.
I've definitely like I've been on the ends of being the only one dressed up at a Halloween party and not being the one dressed up at a Halloween party. So like I've been on both ends of like awkwardness of Halloween parties, and it's always like, all right, well, here I am.
What was your favorite costume? The paper
uh
bag.
I mean, that's definitely a good one. Definitely a good one. Probably, I mean, honestly, that probably is the better one because I can't think of many great ones. I don't, because the thing is, as much as I do love Halloween, I don't typically go all out costume wise. Like 2 years ago for Halloween, I was Marty McFly. So I mean, like, I kind of go a little more like
Marty
basic
McFly.
cosplay. Yeah. So that, I mean, that one was pretty cool because I actually found like an orange puffy vest and everything that worked out. So like getting all the right elements for that costume definitely was
Did you
fun.
get into character?
A little bit. I was at a wrestling show, so it kind of
uh,
worked out.
that's cool. I'm looking. I have a Batman mask. I actually have a hood, and I was Batman last year, but I was Nightmare Batman, and I actually not last year because we didn't have Halloween. It was the year before that. I went to a Halloween party at a comic book shop, one of our comic shops up here in Victorville, and I was the Nightmare Batman. I just did everything. I had the beige trench coat. I went out and got a Nerf gun and painted it, and it looked real. I shouldn't have been walking around with it.
That's cool.
It kind of like had that rusty look to the black, and had the boots, everything. And I'm not tall, so people were making fun of like, you're a short man. Yeah, because now I look at him, he is tall. But yeah,
Yeah,
I think that was probably one of my favorites. But I do like getting dressed up. 2 years in a row prior to that, I was Joker, went out all on the makeup, the latex makeup, and then the year before that, I was Two-Face. The Two-Face one came out really good. My wife
that
helped
sounds
me with that
cool.
one, where my hair was longer, so I was able to do the hair on one side and then this conservative look on the other side. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
I got
uh,
some like I want to work on taking my logo and turning it into like a face mask. So that's one of the
that'd be
ideas that I've
great.
got going. So that'd be cool because then I could just have a permanent costume.
Yeah, that's good. Stand up, let me see your shirt. I want to see that logo one more time. Yeah. Now you do have your sweatshirts online as well.
The hoodies I'm out of right now. I gotta get some money together and then get some more of those done. But there's t-shirts up there.
Yeah.
Because this was like when I came up with the logo, I did just the hoodie design and a small t-shirt run design, and they were just more like simpler things. But with how well they sold and how well people connected to it, I just like found a screen printer and got some more designs going. But right now I'm just like at that point of having so many things happening. I think I was like told you the other day, I
Yeah.
was trying to get organized in my own thoughts and ideas and directions of which way. But I definitely want to have another run of hoodies in time for like the fall season and stuff. But I will my goal would definitely be to have them for Scare Fair, definitely.
Save me a hoodie because I want one of those. I want to be the first one to buy it right off the line,
All
so they're
right.
not they're
I'll
not
let you
sold
know.
off.
I got you. I
Yeah,
got you.
yeah. You do t-shirts. Are you gonna do other type of things like mugs or cups, or are you just gonna stick to the basics?
Well, I mean, I definitely have ideas to expand stuff. So, I mean, as uh, my goal right now is as my painting starts selling more and I'm able to get more money coming in from the actual art, that's gonna fund like kind of like the product line idea of like, like I do have, I mean, I love coffee. I mean, so I mean, mugs are definitely on my list of things. I've even made like mock-up ideas of like just a basic black baseball bat, with my logo and stuff on it. So I do have ideas going forward I want to do for things merchandise wise, but sometimes I get too many ideas. I gotta remind
Yeah.
myself to just do one at a time.
Now I've combined, and we're gonna have the artist Ellie, and the artist Ellie is going to be mixed with local artists as well as more famous artists and comic book artists, and also the actors and the celebrities be towards the rear of artist Ellie. But you're going to be right next to some of the comic book artists that do some really good work, as far as they have, excuse me, some really good covers. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, uh, I think you're gonna be sitting by Bill McKay. He's a comic book artist that has done quite a few comic books. He's actually coming out with his own creation of comic books as well. But
Oh,
yeah,
awesome.
get you some exposure to some of those comic book artists as well. Have you ever
Cool.
thought about doing a comic book, or did you ever take a comic book character and just kind of sketch them out? And
I mean, I've done like on the smaller canvases and stuff, I've done Marvel characters and DC characters and stuff. Um, but I mean, I wanted to do the blank covers. You can buy the blank comic book
oh
covers, but
yes,
it's just something where like again, it's on my list of things I want to do, but I just haven't gotten to do any. Because actually, um, I would say before I would do that, one of my first ideas is to, in my own art style, recreate like movie covers for like horror movies.
oh
Go
yeah,
buy, but like the movie would be in there. I'd buy like the movie and just replace the cover kind of with
right.
my own art or sell it like
That'd
that.
be really good. Just like the comic with the comics that you're talking about that has the blank cover. What some of the artists do, the comic artists do, they buy several of those blank covers and they sell the comic book, and then they're handed the comic book, and they just kind of like sketch up a commission right there, and then that's pretty cool. They do that too.
Yeah.
Uh, they have quite a few different characters that somebody could buy from. So that's a pretty good idea as far as the movies are concerned.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a really cool idea.
So are there any other styles or any other types uh, of hobbies that you have, like whether it be music or, or movies or sports or
I mean, as I'm getting more into like a comfortable position with everything again, uh, there's other, I do like, and I enjoy watching horror movies and everything. I've briefly written some stuff that I want to kind of eventually turn into, like maybe like a short film, things like that. Um, so yeah, I mean, anything that's creative, of course, but I mean, also I love to I'll go out for like, I'm not too far from like Griffith Park area and stuff, and just kind of being able to be in nature and be around spaces where I can kind of be calm, and I enjoy that kind of thing, camping too. Um, so anything that's kind of just, creative, I'll get into. I mean, I have a keyboard I bought, not that
oh
long ago,
wow.
just because I wanted to see it. But it's, of course, it's like I was good at it for like a month, and now I haven't gotten back to practicing it. So
It's hard when you buy some stuff. Like, it's very rare that I get to play with my equipment. But when I do, I'll spend a couple of hours just constantly uh, enjoying it, and then
yeah,
it's put away for another couple of weeks, and then I get to play with it again. So
right.
yeah, I have to find time, and right now time is very limited because of the we have the scare fair coming up in October, then we have a pop culture expo coming up in February on February 12th. So it's like, man, it's been busy, very busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. um did you learn to play music, or
When
was
I
that
was
just a hobby?
no, well, I mean, when I was like in middle school, high school, I played drums,
Mhm.
and I took like lessons and stuff like that. I played in like a band for like a little bit, nothing too big, typical high school kind of garage band stuff. But no, I mean, I definitely miss doing that. Like I miss having that musical outlet as well. Um, so I mean, it's always just something like you say, where you'll have the day or something where you can get a couple hours into it, but then you just kind of forget about it or something for
Yeah.
another little bit. But I do miss playing drums and stuff. I have an electric drum set in my storage somewhere, but I just haven't gotten to it.
And now, coming from Philadelphia, are you a sports fan?
Uh, I think I like realized when I left that I'm not really a big sports fan, but when you live in Philadelphia, you kind of have no choice.
You're forced into it.
Yeah, it really was like an eye opener for me coming out here of like, wow, like yeah, like people love the Lakers and stuff, but at the same time, it's like it's not everything. Like it's
Yeah,
everything in
yeah,
Philadelphia, and but I would
yeah.
say, I mean, I do enjoy hockey. I mean, hockey was always a sport though that I did naturally enjoy. Never played it or anything, but I definitely enjoyed watching it.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, being out there in Philadelphia, you cannot be living in Philadelphia and like an outside team.
Right.
That's it's just impossible. Where here I am in California, I like the Minnesota Vikings, and then I like the Oakland A's, and I'm not a big like Angels or Dodger fan, but you can imagine the people out here in California really don't care. They're like, "Oh, you like that team?" You know,
Yeah.
there are some diehard Raider fans and Dodger fans, but for the most part, out here you could like so anything.
Well, yeah, I mean, the one thing you can definitely do out here that I don't think you could get away with in Philadelphia is having bars that are dedicated to other sports teams. You know, like there are
Yeah,
some bars you go in, it's like a Green Bay Packers bar or like a 40, you know, like it's sort of just like you can have those in the same area where like you
you
can
can.
like oh my god, like if you had even like a Jersey team, you know, like the New Jersey Devils or something, like a bar for that, like it would just be burned down, like it wouldn't it wouldn't
I,
last.
I've traveled a lot through the years, and I've always wanted to go to a game in Philadelphia, but I never did because of those reasons. The fans there are just so brutal that you won't have a chance to even cheer for your team.
No.
They will shut you down real quick. Yeah, it's just they're very dedicated there. That's one of the places where I feel that they're the most dedicated. There and Ohio State.
Oh, okay.
Ohio State all red. And
Yeah.
yeah, you don't even go inside that stadium with another color. It's all red. It's red or nothing.
Yeah.
Did you travel to outside states much like Ohio and
Yeah, actually I had family in Ohio and like Oklahoma and Texas and stuff. So I travel a little bit. I still haven't traveled as much as I would want to yet, or even gotten outside of the country. But so I've been to like a couple different places so far in the states, but definitely not a lot that I would like to.
yeah, yeah. There's only 5 states that I have not been to in the United States, but not that I care to. One of them's Montana, Alaska, uh, Wyoming. Yeah, places like that. Where it's just like, I I would like to go for the parks, but it's not necessary.
Then you're
Yeah,
done. Yeah.
yeah. Can't go see the park and I'm done. Yeah,
It's like a
but
drive through. It's like kind of like make it on your road trip somewhere.
California is one of those states where you can travel up and down the coast and see so many different um elements of California that are so much different than down in San Diego and going up to Big Sur or up north and see just the different uh, types of parks and the types of different, even the weather's different
Yeah.
from the bottom of the coast to the top of the coast, and you get a different feeling that you're in a different state.
Hmm.
I don't know of any other state where you get that much from. Maybe there are parts of Tennessee that are like that too. Yeah, yeah.
That's cool.
From one to the other,
Yeah.
but there's not many states that you get that difference.
Yeah. I mean, with it being like a whole coast, yeah, I've definitely traveled like down to San Diego and stuff and back up. I don't think I've gotten, no, I didn't go, I don't think I've gone that far up north,
Yeah.
a little past Malibu and stuff. But yeah, it is like every section of California beaches is kind of different,
Well,
just
just
all.
look at Los Angeles and Orange County are completely different.
Oh, way different.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and it's like people come to California and want to see Disneyland, and they want to see Hollywood at the same time, and they go and see Hollywood, and they're like, "This is Hollywood." This,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's like it's not a theme
yeah,
park. It's really just
yeah,
it's like it's an area. Like it's I think people maybe people think like Hollywood is just one big soundstage or something,
yeah, like
but
glamorous
it's
stuff.
not.
Yeah,
It's I mean it's full of acting, but at the same time it's not like
I love Hollywood. I love LA. I'm from the city. I'm from the county, I should say, but I've always liked going to those places, and the clubs and seeing concerts there. And each concert venue is actually different too. You might have a small venue like, let's say, the Viper Room or the Roxy, and
mm,
then you might have like down the street the Greek or Hollywood Bowl, and
right.
they're two different venues, but the experiences, you would have to experience them different. Yeah,
Right.
and they're so close in proximity too.
Yeah, they're
Like
really
there's a
close.
bunch of them, a, a bunch of places where you could go see live entertainment
Yeah,
that
I
are
think there's a
right
couple
there.
places. There's a couple places I think I've seen. I forget where what street I was on, um, but I'm kind of close to the Hollywood area, so there's a bunch of even smaller venues even starting to open back up for just like little local things like and comedy stuff, and
Yeah.
little movie theater places and stuff. I see opening up.
Now, what type of music do you prefer to listen to?
Music, music is something where I don't know. I kind of go through a lot. I mean, anything really from like heavy metal, punk music, and down to like I've really gotten into some of the EDM music and things like that. And like I'm not really someone who judges music harshly. It's just I'll throw something on. I don't really care. Like if later on I find out maybe it's not the best thing to listen to, sure. But like I'll listen to newer stuff, older stuff. Um, and I like to change it up. And when I'm doing art, different music affects my mood within a painting. So if I'm trying to be more energetic in a painting, I'm gonna put on something that's either like, heavy metal or that like faster paced EDM. Or if I'm doing more line work, I'll put on, slower energy music. Sometimes I'll even put on something a little like classical and just
So,
like
what's
calm myself
heavy
down.
metal? What's heavy metal to you? More like a Motley Crue heavy metal, or like a Metallica heavy metal, or Anthrax, or
Uh I mean, I grew up like my one of my more favorite like metal bands was Slayer.
it's
Um, so that kind of was where I got like into it. The with them just like the faster paced
mhm.
guitars and drums and everything. But then at the same time, that slower kind of creepy, and some of their songs you got like the rain and stuff coming down and it
Yeah.
like puts you in like a horror movie feel to it. So stuff like that. And I mean, sometimes like I'll pull away from it when it gets too like deeply screamy. Like I can't get too much into that, but at the same time, like take that out and give me the instrumentals, like I love it as like the I guess it's like the progressive kind of metal too, where like
Yeah,
some of the songs are like 10 minutes long, but you got these like really cool build ups and slow downs, like
riffs
but
are
there's
different.
and
Yeah,
there's no lyrics. It's just just
yeah,
music.
yeah. I like that too. There's a lot of songs that do that, especially when they become more um, influenced to just write the music instead of write lyrics, and their influence comes from different areas, either earthy or whatever, and you could tell by the music how they were influenced without listening to any of the lyrics at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I like that as well. Okay, we're running a little bit out of time,
All
but
right.
it was great having you. What events are you going to be at within the next couple of weeks?
So next weekend, the 13th and 14th, I'll be at an event called Pancakes and Booze.
Mhm.
And it's just, I know it's in downtown LA area. I'll be posting about it and stuff in the next couple of days, especially. And then after that, I'll be back in the Summer Spook Nights on the 21st. I believe that, yeah, it's a Saturday. And then
That's the one in
right before,
Rancho
yeah, the one
Etiwanda.
at,
Yeah.
I don't, yeah, the historical site. I'm like
Right.
trying to remember all the places and their names.
Yeah.
Sometimes honestly for shows, like I'll wake up and I'll look at where I have to go and I'll be like, oh, that's a 2 hour drive. All right, I gotta start getting ready now. Like I forget because of like in Philly, like yeah, stuff would be far, but out here you got to add on the traffic. So like a
Yeah.
20-mile drive isn't a half hour. It's like
40
almost
minutes
two.
to an hour. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then the last, I'm not exactly sure where I'm going yet, but I know the last weekend of August, I'll be down in Santa Ana. I'm gonna do kind of like a little coffee shop display. I'm gonna have some artwork up, and I'm gonna even be doing live painting and stuff there. So
Okay.
it's people that I knew at a gallery that I worked at previously before COVID and everything. So they're always cool. They always like help me out and bring me back down there for events.
Is that red coffee or
No, it's not
no?
rat. I forget
Okay.
the coffee shop. It's definitely not. I don't think so anyway. I don't think it's like a horror based
Okay.
anything. So I'll probably have more of my like other Ram skull paintings and stuff that you had up earlier from my website there.
Okay. What if somebody wanted to find you on social media or online? How could they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at J Gruesome. Really, if you look that up anywhere else, you'll find me.
Hmm.
But I don't really. I use Instagram probably the most. There's a Facebook
Right.
page. I don't do anything on it.
Right.
There's a Twitter page, maybe. I don't think I do anything on it. And then I do have TikTok under J Gruesome as well, where I'm starting to do some time lapse of just like little things I'm doing. But right now, Instagram is just like the main platform. I feel like it's just kind of I can connect to everybody easily. I know Facebook still has their groups and stuff, but I can't. I can barely pay attention to a group chat in Instagram, let alone a
Right.
whole community of people talking at once.
The picture that's behind you of Sam trick or treat. Um, you were doing the line work and then you had the color to it. So if people want to see that, they could go see that on your Instagram as well. Right? Did you do a
Uh,
time lapse one on that one too, or
I didn't do like a time lapse video. I've been posting kind of like slow progress
right?
photos on my story. I'm trying to get better at the documenting end. You know, when you're, I know a lot of artists are the same way. Like we focus so much on the creative end, we forget about the marketing end
Yeah,
sometimes, and it's just like,
yeah, yeah. But that's actually good where they can see that because I liked watching the beginning work of the trick or treat behind you, and then
mm,
watching you add the color to it, and then watching it now that's behind you. That's pretty cool.
yeah. I'll probably as my once it's done, I'll probably do like a little slideshow post then of like the sketch to the canvas to the color process.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. Well, thank you for joining me today with the podcast. I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
It's
thanks for
really
having me.
really great talking to you. Um, Everybody else, I'm signing off. This is Eddie and Jay. Uh, at my life, my public life as an American nerd, and I'll see you guys later. Bye. Hmm.